What up, survivors? Welcome to D180, the horror movie podcast, taking you on a ride. Thanks for linking up with us. I'm AJ.
And I am Johnny.
And I hope you all have your bags packed for a summer at Camp 180. It's going to be hot. It's going to be very long. We got 5 of these bad boys to get through, so let's not waste any time. And let's start off with park recommendations. So the movie we're talking about this episode is 1981's The Burning. And if you like this movie, then I would recommend actually, these two movies that I recommended, one is a camp slasher, the other one is slightly different, but it's close to the character, kind of, sort of. But the first one is Maniac. That's 1981. I've actually seen that one, and I really, 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 really liked it. It was different. It was very 80s. And then the second one is Mad Men, and that's 1980.
Okay.
So you got Maniac and Mad Men, and Mad Men is the one that's a camp slasher, so it falls right in line with this one.
I haven't heard of either of them. So they're definitely on my list, and the list just keeps growing and growing.
Okay, you're gonna have a long ass list, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, you just, might not have something to do one day and just be like, you know what? Let me see somebody get stabbed real quick. And these are slashers, so if you want to put them in genres, there you go. These are slashers. You know what, y'all? I'm gonna keep it real. Y'all like this movie? Now, I'm just, because obviously y'all see we kind of got straight to the point here. I'm just, because, okay, let me just say
now
this.
y'all know I'm the one who normally comes out swinging when I don't like something, and you can tell. But today is a whole different vibe because Ashley doesn't like it.
Because it didn't give what it was supposed to give. Like, I found this movie, like, I've known about this movie for a while, but since the podcast, I was just like, well, I'll just wait to watch it for whenever we cover it, just so I can, like, have a fresh perspective, whatever. This movie, I had just heard so much about it. I will always see that scene and all of this stuff. And when I watched it, I was just like, okay. And I think...
And I have the same sentiments. I wasn't going to say anything, but...
I mean, that's fine. We could tear this movie the fuck up. And if anybody want to come at us, y'all already know I'm about that life. I don't care.
I'll just get my homeboy Mikey to blow up your house. It's fine.
Period. Because he is signed up. I think the first thing that rubbed me the wrong way is that the Bitchstein brothers' hands are all over this movie. And I didn't know that, or I probably wouldn't have even put this.
I was wondering that. And I was under the impression that you had saw the movie. So I was kind of confused when I saw that they had produced this. Like, this was like their breakout movie into the whole industry. Right. I was like, oh, okay. But now, like some of the scenes make sense.
Yes, this was when Miramax was first a thing. So this is the movie that kind of got Miramax popping, if that's what you want to say. But, like, I'm watching the movie and the credits roll, and I said, hold it. Now wait. Monopoly pull away. Wait. Like, because I'm not gonna stunt. I'm sure there are other movies that the Bitchstein brothers have done that are horror movies that I probably like, and I'm probably not aware that they have done them. But something about this one, and I'm gonna put that all out there. It was just like, what the fuck? And then, obviously, you know how I do. Once I watch a movie, I go into a deep dive in my research. And just the shit I saw in the research and hearing from other podcasts, and some of y'all, some of y'all like this movie, and I kind of get why you like the movie, especially if you... or I don't even know how to even defend why you would like this movie. But God damn, I feel like this gonna be a doozy, and that's just fine with me. I don't care.
It's going to be a doozy because I agree with you. I did not like this movie.
Ooh, child. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about the bitch Steen brothers, but they hands is on this,
Shoot,
whatever.
they hands was in Scream, and you know I love Scream.
I know that, but see, I feel differently about that because I don't know. Like I just feel like I don't fucking know. Like I think screen I think with this movie it's the content that bothers me along with the fact that it's them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
Yes, we gonna talk about it. Let me just blow through this info real quick because I kind of don't even want to do this right now. I'm gonna be very frank with y'all, and I'm sorry if y'all was looking forward to this episode, but I'm just like, what the fuck was this? Oh Jesus. Okay, so first of all, this had a $1.5 million budget. Where?
I think it was the special effects.
And you know what? That's the only thing I like about this movie because motherfucking Tom Savini did it. That's the only thing I like. And y'all know how I feel about Savini. I done dropped this dude name so many goddamn times. You know, he worked on the original Friday the 13th, which we'll be covering at the end of the month. And he actually skipped out on the second one to do this one because my man's was like, baby, that's dumb. Why is Jason a grown ass man and we killed him? Like, that don't make no sense. So when he seen the script for The Burning, he was just like, oh yeah, let me slide on over there. But it's also crazy because he came back to the Friday the 13th franchise, I believe the fourth installment, so he can kill Jason. I'm like, you petty. But even though I don't know if you've seen that one got Corey Feldman in it, and I'm like, that kill is badass and I love it. I know I be shitting on the Friday the 13th franchise. I actually do like the franchise. I just feel like it's not one you should watch consecutively because, baby, your brain don't spill out your ear. And I mean, it's not supposed to. So I'm gonna give it that. Like,
it's like
Friday the 13th. That's a franchise that continuity is all out the window. Nobody cares about it.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you are a person that's about continuity, don't watch that franchise because you're just gonna be like, ooh, child. But I mean, most of y'all probably know that anyway. But yeah. Even Savini even told us that he only had 3 days to do Cropsy's face mask, which when I seen it, I was like, this is it. But I mean, he called it out. So when people call out their own stuff, I'm not even too mad because you gotta call yourself out on things sometimes. And it wasn't that he did a bad job, it just wasn't what he wanted. Like, it wasn't a burn victim. He just looked like,
it wasn't a burn victim. You know who he looked like?
Who?
My man's off the Goonies.
Don't play him.
He did a worse
Don't
version,
play him like
but
that.
he
That's
did.
why I was like, don't play him. Damn. I'm with you right. But another thing about this movie was the MPAA, of course. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm going to tell you something else too. But anyway, they cut this movie down tremendously again. One of the scenes being the raft scene and some other scenes. But the uncut version had been released since 2007. So I'm sure that we watched the uncut version. But I guess we're going to find out when we talk about it and somebody hits us up like, that's and I'm going to be looking like this in the DMs and just let you talk to yourself because, no, don't be defending this. Unless you're defending Savini and that's it.
Like, not let you talk to yourself. That's funny.
I will do it. I am notorious for ghosting. I'm a Libra. We do this. But what I was going to tell you was last week in our episode of Bones, for some reason, I think it was just because it was at the end and I just was like, you know, in my own little bubble. And you had mentioned that you wasn't feeling how the blood looked like paint. And I wish I had a process what you said because I would have told you, like, I don't even think I said this in the show, that along with that movie being a page out of blaxploitation and giving homage to that, the reddish color of the blood was actually supposed to be more of a homage to Italian horror. And I know we haven't delved in that yet, but when we start delving into that, you're going to see a lot of that. And that's basically what that was.
Got
it.
Like,
oh yeah, I probably should have told her that, but I spaced it. It's fine. All right. I'm gonna run through this cast because I'm not talking about this production crew because I will. You know what? I'm gonna say this. You little bitch for getting that production designer in your room, dropping your goddamn towel and telling her to massage you naked. What the fuck is wrong with you? You are fucking disgusting, and I'm glad. I'm glad your ass is behind bars, little bitch. Anyway, we have Brian Matthews as Todd, Brian Backer as Alfred, who was in Fast Times at Ridgemount High, Leah Ayers as Michelle, Larry Joshua as Glazer, Lou David as Cropsy, Jason Alexander as Dave, which we all know as George Costanza, and he was in Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella. He had a hair full of hair. That's why. No, I feel like ever since I was born, that man been bald. I'm just saying. You know how a lot of people our age be like, ever since we was born, Morgan Freeman was older.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like recently I seen a picture of him as a teenager and I was just like, this is not real, because no, he was grown. He was born grown. And I'm convinced.
Born grown.
I'm convinced. So then you get, girl, don't hype me up. Don't try to make me laugh. I'm trying to be serious. No, I'm playing. You got Ned Eisenberg as Eddie, who's in Law and Order. Fisher Stevens as Woodstock, who is most known for being in Short Circuit. And then you have Carrick Glenn as Sally and Carolyn Houlihan as Karen. But then, first of all, not Holly Hunter being in here with no lines. Like, first of all, how you gonna be in a movie? And not how. This is just actually kind of tight. Not you being in a movie with no lines. You just, very, very background character. But then go ahead to get an Academy Award. I see you, sis. I know that's right.
Hey.
You just lay low until it's your time. And then...
Yep.
I love it. The only thing... I got some links for y'all. I'll put them down at the bottom. It's mainly just going to be about Tom Savini's time with this movie. We ain't going to be, we're not doing nothing else. No. Anyway, the film's climax, the last scene, it was originally supposed to be in a cave system, but the idea ended up getting scrapped.
Because of some bats.
Yeah. See, well, actually, it's two stories. One person is saying that it was bats, and then the other person is saying that the cave caved in right before they were supposed to film. So,
which is kind of creepy.
Right. That was telling y'all that y'all weren't supposed to be doing that. So, nature be known. But anyway, because of that, they opted to go shoot in this little abandoned copper mine, which I was just like, where did this come from? But I mean, I guess, okay.
Listen, okay, I was confused. We'll get to that part when we get to that part, but I was confused.
I was just like, I know this first week of camp kind of started on a bleak note, but you know what? I got something to cheer y'all up. We can head off to the queue line if you're ready.
I am ready.
Let's hit it.
Into the thick of it.
Howdy, survivors. Please keep your tips and limbs inside the vehicle and remain seated at all times. Hang on to your personal belongings, especially your minds and spines. 'Cause this here's a doozy.
For your camp activity this week, I have an interesting little quiz for you. Now, I know you want to do arts and crafts. But I want to really know, what summer camp activity are you? You're going to answer 8 questions. I already taken mine. I'll tell you at the end. But we're going to have to think really hard. Not really. I'm just fucking with you. You know how I do. Question number 1. Your teacher asks you a question that you don't know the answer to. What do you do? A. Go to the board, draw a beautiful picture, distracting everyone from the fact that you don't know what you're talking about. B, you get really, really loud and say something hilarious to make the class laugh. Who cares if you get the right answer? C, You tell everyone to turn to a specific page in the book, then read off some phony facts. Or D, you run away into the woods. Nobody can find you there, sis.
First of all, how you running into the woods?
Into the thick of it?
This is all good questions. I probably run into the woods.
Question number 2. What would your mom say is your greatest talent? A, that kid can talk. B, you're very artsy. C, you always have a solution. Or D, you have tons of energy.
That I have tons of energy. You know what my mother would really say? Just FYI. You're so simple.
Damn. Damn. Not her coming. Why should be coming for you like this? Wow.
Oh my gosh. Yo, my mommy. Yesterday we had so much fun at Ocean City though. But yeah, she be coming for me.
Fun, but damn. Question number 3. How do you handle bullies? I challenge them to a race. I draw a picture of a terrifying skeleton. That way they know I'm tough, aka Walter from Boys Do Get Bruised, Tales from the Hood. Go listen to that episode. C, you creep them out with secrets about them that they didn't know you know. Or you can talk your way out of anything, so you trick them into thinking you're awesome.
I creep them out with the secrets that they don't know I know.
Question number 4. If you had one, what would you name your pet hamster? Snoopy, Robin Hood, Othello, or Vincent?
So I had a guinea pig and I named my guinea pig Guinea. I know, how original, right? I'll go with Snoopy.
5. What is the best food? Trail mix, mac and cheese, purple ketchup, or Lucky Charms?
Purple ketchup?
Girl, you ain't never had purple ketchup?
No, I did not get the purple
Hold up.
ketchup.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, at least you know where it's from, so I can't even say that. Okay, go ahead. Go off.
Because I thought that it was going to taste not the same.
No, it tasted the same. It was just food coloring, that's all.
I know, but in my head, I just knew that it was going to be nasty.
I was loving it. I would get, first of all, the worst idea, and I don't know why my mom let me do this, but the worst idea was using both purple and green ketchup at the same time, because it just
Ew. Ew.
Still ate it though.
And Lucky Charms is not a thing for me. So what were the other 2?
Trail mix, mac and cheese.
I'm gonna go with trail mix because if we talk about we at camp and we got mac and cheese, I know the mac and cheese with box mac and cheese.
But I'm with you with the Lucky Charms because no, not at all. 6. Pick an object. Scissors, magnifying glass, backpack, or a microphone.
Scissors. Why wasn't fire an option?
I mean, it was an object. That's not an object. That's more like a...
Yeah, like matches or a lighter.
Oh, yeah, you could have, but yeah. 7. Who is your favorite Avenger from this list? Not in general, because I already know you was about to go off. Black Panther, Iron Man, Thor of Asgard. I can't help. Every time I say one of their names, I have to say of Asgard. I actually started referring to myself as AJ of Asgard, so now you all have to address me that way. Thank you. Or Black Widow.
I'm gonna have to go with Thor.
That's my bestie. He's a Libra, just like me. And our final question is, which of these other summer camp activities would you choose? Hiking and climbing, camp dance, group building activities, or cooking?
Um, I think I'll go with cooking.
Ooh, you ready for your results?
Okay.
You are canoeing. You love the great outdoors and have a huge sense of adventure. Your life is all about exploring new horizons and you don't mind getting wet. How's that
Okay.
sound for you?
I hate it. I
Want to know
mean,
what mine was?
I'm okay with the like. I don't mind getting wet, and I like adventure and stuff. But canoeing, I had a whole issue with this whole scene that we about to talk about because I was like, "Who the fuck wants to be out here canoeing?" Like,
Okay, now I'm not gonna stunt. I've been canoeing in a pool before. I know that sounds weird, but I've been canoeing in the pool and the shit was fun, and I really liked it. So I'm not gonna stunt. I don't know
but
if
in
you
the
ever done it before.
wilderness,
I mean, I would do it. I mean, I would go camping if it was available. I'm gonna be very honest.
well, shoot, I have plenty of camping trips planned, but I never go because who wants to go camping?
Yeah, I would do it. Like, I don't know, like
Now I prefer
maybe,
glamping, but
and that's what my sisters be saying. And I went glamping one time, but I didn't even stay because I was working at the radio station, so I didn't stay. But yeah, I don't mind cooling. I mean, cooling. I don't mind canoeing. I've also done, is it wakeboarding where you stand up on the board and paddle yourself?
I think that's paddleboarding.
Paddleboarding, yeah. I guess I said paddle myself. I should have known that. But yeah, my rookie season when I was a first lady for our line bonding, we went paddleboarding and we paddleboarded all the way. We were in Annapolis, so we were over there in that water. And we paddleboarded all the way to somebody's house and ate crabs. And I remember that was the most lit thing I ever did in Maryland. But I liked my results. I got scavenger hunt and I'm all about that life.
Man, that sounds more fun than canoeing.
Yeah, I was all about that scavenger hunt life. It was A1 perfect for me. But you know what? Child, at some point we're gonna have to do this. So I guess we're gonna go ahead, go. Get on this ride. I guess y'all can buckle up. Yeah, you know what? Yes, buckle the fuck up. Cause you know what? Watch yourself, arm yourself, had your kids, had your wife, had it all, had your snacks. Because when we come back, we're gonna be talking about 1981's The Burning.
This summer, if you're planning to go camping, don't. If you're looking forward to midnight swims, don't.
Sneak on back to the campsite. Get some matches. Build us a hot fire. Don't be long.
And if you're thinking about being with someone where no one can see you, don't. Because this summer, a legend of terror isn't just a campfire story anymore.
They say he smashed his way through the bunk room door, just a mass of flames. Burned alive, cried out, "I will return! I will have my revenge!" He lives on whatever he can catch. Right now, he's out there, watching, waiting. Who's there?
What happened one summer 5 years ago is about to happen again, and again, and again. The Burning.
You know what? I'm upset because the trailer had me, and even though obviously I watched the trailer after the movie, I was like, this was not giving what you said it was going to give.
Yeah, the trailer, I like the trailer because it looked like a typical 80s slasher trailer.
Right.
But
Yeah, the narrator voice, the burner. That was a horrible impression, but y'all know what I'm trying to do. But I was just like,
yeah,
trailer better than the movie to me.
yeah, complete. Like honestly, the trailer is better than the movie. But hey, I mean, that's honestly the point of a trailer. It's supposed to build the excitement, get you ready to be scared or excited for all the blood splatter.
And that's the only thing I liked. I said this already. That's the only thing I liked was the effects. And that was it. It was some other things I liked too, but it was just like, barely. Like literally barely. All right, y'all. So this movie starts at Camp Blackfoot, where a group of boys, we got Snoop, Jamie, Billy, and who we'll later learn is a guy named Todd. These boys are all gathered around. They're plotting on this caretaker named Cropsy that works at the camp. And basically, I guess Cropsy must be a dick, but we don't know. We don't ever see that. And I'm not complaining saying I need to see that. But in my eyes, this man ain't did nothing to these kids. And these kids just went ham on him. And it was a little harsh for me. I mean, they probably didn't intend for what happened to happen, but it still happened. But they say like Jamie. What made you mad?
Because why? I get it. You were scared, so you swiped it off the table. But knowing that your bed was so close to that daggone table.
I'm just okay. You know what? Because yes, I feel like we're going to be on the same page this whole entire time. And I'm just going to have fun tearing this apart because that's just what's about to happen. So apparently I was also trying to figure out. So they said that Cropsy beat Jamie up. And then it was like, Snoop, remember what he did to you? I was like, well, what did he do to you, Snoop? Was it something else? Because I kind of just feel
I was getting the vibe that he ain't do nothing to Snoop, and Snoop was just like, yeah.
Right. I was just like, okay. Or I mean, if it was something else, I feel like you would have said something. I would have hoped you would have said something because hell no. But anyway.
I get the vibe that ain't nobody really do nothing about this caretaker. And so the kids decided that they wanted to handle it themselves.
Right.
On accident.
Right. So they sneak into his cabin. Well, one of them sneaks into the cabin and sets a rotting skull on fire. And I'm just like, Johnny, what type of arts and crafts are these? Are you in charge of this?
Nah, because that actually looked like an actual skull.
Because yes, and I'm like, where did y'all get this from? Because that thing looks rotted. Like, where did y'all find this? So y'all telling me, like, did somebody get murked before this? Where's that story? So Cropsy wakes up. First of all, the kids, what type of prank was this? I don't know.
Girl.
I don't know. I'm like, so y'all went in there, put the skull in there, set it on fire, then went outside and tapped on the window for him to wake up and see it? That was y'all plan?
Yep.
I mean, I guess. Okay. So like my good sis Nay said earlier, Cropsy wakes up, and when he wakes up, he swats the skull, knocking it over, inadvertently hitting a gas tank that was already in his room. And I can excuse that a little bit because I'm guessing since he's the caretaker, he's just sleeping in a tool shed. But still, my nigga, why would you have these flammables around you like that? Like, it's not like you got to wake up and just grab a gas can. Put that thing away. I don't know. Do something with it. But anyway,
I feel like they did that man dirty and he didn't have a real place to sleep. So he just slept where all the other stuff was.
I guess so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. It was the 80s. I would not be surprised. When he knocks it over, obviously, the tool shed begins to set on fire, with him setting on fire too, which is just Savini's legs. Can you imagine him just sitting there, just setting his legs on fire? Like, oh my God.
Like this whole scene, him knocking the shit on his bed, his legs catching on fire, to him standing up, and then
him swatting himself, patting himself,
swatting himself, then hitting the gas can, knocking it over, making the whole cabin go up in flames. Like, sir.
You know what got me? It was the fireman stunt suit for me. Now, you know, and y'all know, so don't even get on here acting like I'm just doing this movie dirty because it's already dirty. Y'all know that I will call out effects and I will be like, oh, this looks good. And oh, no, that wasn't too good. Y'all already know what I be on this. And then y'all had the nerve to put it in slow motion like I couldn't just see it.
R.I.P. to the dude who actually was in that stunt suit. He didn't die in the making of this movie, but...
Right. I'm just like, that's a nice stunt suit with your helmet and your gloves now. Okay. But he ends up running towards the river, falling into the water and dousing himself as the other kids scurry away.
Oh my gosh. So the part that tripped me out in the behind the scenes from Savini was when he said that what he was supposed to do was go inside the cabin with a torch and light it on fire. And then as soon as he lit it on fire, the stunt person was supposed to run up against the wall to get lit up and then run out the cabin.
Yeah.
But what happened was he ran, mind you, the whole cabin had to be on fire. So everything was like doused with whatever liquid, and when he ran inside to light the cabin on fire, he slipped and fell and the torch went flying, and that's how the cabin caught on fire. So he missed the whole dude running out the cabin.
Gotta love happy accidents.
So the whole time the cabin was burning, he was hiding inside the cabin.
Gotta love happy accidents.
I was like, oh my god, what if that had turned bad?
Exactly. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was insured, but still. So a week later, he's taken to St. Catherine's Hospital for some skin grafts. You know, they trying to doctor him up. So now we get these two med students. One of them just started, like literally just started a few days ago. And then you got this other one. He's kind of a dick. He trying to scare him. And it's kind of like them work memes that y'all be seeing when it be like, when I got to take the new trainee around and it be like, well, you're not supposed to do it like this, but I do it this way. So That's the vibes I was getting. And of course, the veteran worker is one of us. He a bro, as Chucky would say, he a bro. And I was like, why are you doing this to this man? Why are you scaring this white man?
Because it's fun.
Like, why are we like this? Oh my God. And he just hyping it up. He was like, you ain't seen no shit like this before. We about to go down this hall, blah, 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 blah. So he take him to the burn unit. And then what ends up happening is he really talking all this big shit. And then not Crispy, that nigga name is Cropsy. I'm sorry.
He was Crispy.
Basically, he ends up scaring the two medical students by grabbing the one that was shit talking with the little charred arm. And I'm like, that charred arm looked really good. I wish you would have had time to do the face. I already know what the issue was, but what?
When he stuck that arm out, I was like, damn, his arm looked like a smoked turkey leg.
You know what? I am with you when you're right, because it definitely did.
And I was like, why does this look like a smoked turkey leg?
Because I mean, that's honestly what a crispy Cropsy would look like.
Oh my gosh.
5 years later, and Cropsy is finally released. He's wearing a heavy coat, sunglasses, hat. Basically, you know, he got his invisible man swag on. That's what he doing, the OG one. That's basically what it is. Because the skin grafts didn't work. They really couldn't do too much for him. So despite the doctor's efforts to try to reassure him about, you know, what's going on before reintegrating him into society, he's like, nah, fuck all that shit. He quickly takes revenge out on a sex worker by gutting her with a pair of scissors and pushing her out the window after she was disgusted when he tried to, like, you know, he was about to get naked. He was trying to be normal. He was trying to feel again, but she wasn't liking it, and it threw him off, and he was like, "I bitch," basically. But you know what? I did like this scene because, you know, her room is dark, right? And when he walks in, it looks like he's walking to our left, but it's really the mirror reflection, but he ends up coming towards us. I did like that. But I didn't like, oh my God, who are you? Just leave me alone. Just go. I said, sis.
That's what I didn't like that either. Because, okay, so this whole scene kind of confused me because out the grand scheme of the movie, I didn't understand the point. It just didn't fit. And then I didn't even realize that he took off any clothes or anything. I just thought that he finally got in the light, and then she was freaked out.
So basically, this is the catalyst of him being like, yeah, I'm about to go take my revenge out. Because like I was saying earlier, you know, surgery wasn't successful and he's all bandaged up, excuse me. And, you know, once this lady the sex worker turns him down, he's just like, well, damn, like, hell no, I'm about to go get my revenge. So I think that was
But the thing was,
only.
he already wanted his revenge because as they were wheeling him out the hospital, they were trying to tell him, "Don't get their revenge on the kids. They were just kids. It was."
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They were telling him not to, and he probably wasn't. But once that
I would have
happened,
did it anyway.
then
You know how
right,
you tell your doctors, "Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do it anyway."
right. So now we're at Camp Stonewater. The camp didn't get renamed. Y'all know how it do. When things go wrong, instead of fixing the problem, Washington football team, they just cut things and change the name and just put gloss on it like nothing happened.
I wish I could see my face.
Anyway. So this opening scene with the campers, we got a group of campers. They're playing baseball. And first of all, they were screaming, Rhoda. I said, Rhoda, wait a minute. And then, no. Obviously, I knew it wasn't going to be our girl, Rhoda. But I was like, this is not my Rhoda with her little mosquito bites bouncing around.
Girl, I was like, "What the fuck, your bra?"
And no, you know what? Because no, I'm not even against that because I go braless all the time. My
But not
issue
running.
was, actually, I mean, yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Does that
it's
hurt?
just a shirt. No. Disclaimer. Actually, no, I'm not going to disclaim that because this is a public show. Actually, no, I'm not. Never mind. So anyway, then we see a little booty long before we see the face of who it even belongs to. I said not a tit drill. Actually, you know what? I'm not entertaining this movie, so I will not be making that many puns. I might every now and then, but no. Also, did you see that meme? It wasn't even a meme. It was a Facebook post. And it was like, I was today years old when I found out what a tip drill was. You idiot. He tells you in the song. What do you mean you were today years old? I hate y'all. I really hate y'all. What? He literally said it must be your ass because it ain't your face.
I need a tip drill. I need a
What?
tip drill.
What Miss J. Alexander meme? Like why? Are y'all serious? Okay.
Over here talking. Hey, okay, let me stop. Sorry.
So we find out this is actually Karen's little bum, and Eddie is the one that's trying to go after her, and I'm gonna get on him later. Tiger, who I actually thought would probably be more of a main character in this movie, searches for a loose baseball as she's stalked but not killed by Cropsy. So we know that Cropsy is on the campgrounds and he just biding his time at the moment. Later on in the mess hall, Karen tells Michelle how she's not too sure about Eddie, debating if she should have sex with him or not. He has a reputation. He be having all these girls. Y'all know how that is. But of course, your answer should be no, Karen. No. And I get it. I was a teenager once and I was dumb once. But first of all, Michelle, even though Michelle, she was like, well, if you're not sure about it, you shouldn't do it. But Michelle, you're a fucking camp counselor. You're encouraging these kids to have sex at camp. Is that what you're doing?
Whole time, wasn't the girl a camp counselor too?
Now, only Michelle and Todd are counselors. Everybody else is a camp goer. The thing is,
because later conversations, it seemed like she was a camp counselor.
No, they just cool because most of the time, camp counselors, as we're going to see throughout this month, are usually just younger 20-somethings.
Yeah.
And camp, 9 times out of 10, depending on what type of camp it is, goes up to about 17, 18. So you don't be that much older than these people. And it's really easy to make those connections. So I can see that. But yeah, no. Michelle and Todd are the counselors and Karen and them. But I'm just like, no, that's not how that's, no. We're not doing this. In the girls' bunk the next morning, Sally goes to take a shower and she kind of feels that somebody's in there with her. She had a weird feeling. Once she pulls back the curtain, she sees Alfred's ass creeping and runs out the shower. While she's screaming, she gets Karen, Michelle, Todd, and Eddie's attention, who all catch Alfred being a goddamn creep, claiming he only did it because he wanted to scare her. Sir, what? And then also this shower scene, listen, y'all, I get it. I am in horror. obviously I'm going to see boobs, but it's obviously y'all know why I have a problem with this. I'm just like, really? Okay. Anyway, Michelle insists that, Alfred needs to go because that's unacceptable, which it is. But Todd takes him to the side to talk to him. And during this conversation, Todd learns that, Alfred, he don't got no friends at camp. He didn't even want to be here. And, he only really did this so he can get back at Glazer, which, why are you scaring his girlfriend to get back at him? Like, just get at him. I know he's bigger than you and all that, but don't be no punk. Like, don't do, no.
I mean, clearly.
Todd goes to say, 5 years ago that he was sent home from a camp and, he can relate to Alfred. I'm like, no, that's not relating at all. Like, no. Anyway, after this, Glazer ends up, first of all, hell no. The way Glazer came at Alfred, even though rightfully so, you're not just about to keep putting your hands on me and I not do nothing back. Like, Alfred, you really a punk. Like, don't be no punk out here letting people beat up on you like that, even though you a goddamn fucking creep. No. Todd ends up breaking them up, telling Glazer, you need to go chill out or I'ma fuck you up. And then everyone goes to the lake to swim, including Alfred, even though he can't swim. And he ends up getting pushed in the lake by Glazer, who's still fucking with him, as he goes off, because the girls, they out in the middle of there's like a little deck out in the middle of the lake, wherever the fuck they at. All the girls, they posted up over there. So that's where Glazer going. He trying to be macho. Y'all know how that go. So Dave, Fish, and Woodstock, who were all with Alfred before he got pushed in, they helping him out the water. They cussing out Glazer because he's being a dick. And they end up shooting Glazer in the butt with a BB gun. And I was very happy about this because that's what you get, you dick.
That one of the best scenes.
I know. I will say, even though, I'll say whatever, no matter. Glazer ends up getting pushed in the pool, as he should, by one of the girls. And I was just like, that's what you get, because you was just being a dick this entire movie. And I'm going to get on that later, too. Don't think I forgot. So meanwhile, later on, in the boys' bunk, Dave arrives. First of all, Dave is the contraband man. If you want it, you ask it. He gonna find it. He got it. Don't ask me how he doing it. I don't fucking know. But he bringing in Playboy mags, condoms, but not the lubed ones that Glazer is asking for. And I'm just like, why? As my teacher would tell us in high school to try to stop us from having sex, it's not gonna dry up anytime soon. So why?
Well,
I mean, I'm gonna get on him later, but still, no.
Not everybody is very fortunate in that department.
Listen,
I've heard horror stories.
While they're doing all of that, Alfred spots Cropsy outside of his window, but nobody, of course, believes him. So Dave, Fish, and Woodstock all get sent to the mess hall once Todd walks in, seeing that they fucking around in the room. I also, once again, I brought up Tiger. Y'all know me. In their room, there was a tiger on a noose that was hanging, and I thought that was going to be some cool foreshadowing. It wasn't. It was just a tiger hanging from a noose. I was a little upset about that. Then when they go into the mess hall, first of all, Dave mocking Glazer had me cracking up. It's like, I'm talking to her. Can I talk to her too? This is also where we learned that the older kids, they'll be going on a canoe trip, which is kind of going to be the catalyst for the meat of our movie. Woodstock excuses himself to go get some vitamin E. And for some reason, I don't know, is this like supposed to be a boy thing with y'all little wee-wees? Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not a boy. One of y'all can let us know. What ends up happening is Glazer and Fish snitch on him to Todd, saying like he's sick or something. I don't know what the fuck was the point of none of this. It was just, I don't fucking know. Anyway. This long ass canoe scene. And I wasn't even mad about it because it happens in a few camp movies and I kind of don't mind it. But this one, I was just like, are you just showing us this to just establish that we have canoes? You just could have told us this. I would have believed you. We're at a camp. I didn't need to see it. But I mean, I guess it was fun. They were having fun splish splashing in the water. And that night, Todd tells a campfire story of Cropsy, which isn't a legend at all. That shit's real. And if they never found the body, how y'all know he survived?
Hey.
Right. I'm just like, okay. Well, anyway, it don't matter because this story was a ruse to scare the campers as Eddie, dressed as Cropsy, jumps out scaring everybody. Meanwhile, ducked off, Eddie is high key pressuring Karen to have sex with him, even though she don't want to because of what I said earlier. He's a hoe, amongst other things. Okay. So then this little, I don't even know what to call him. Just he ends up manipulating her to go skinny dip and talking about, well, I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna get it. Nigga, don't do that. If we have any youngins listening to us, like little teens, whatever, like we all believe in the freedom of the whole phase correctly, but manipulation, no, don't do no. See the signs, get the fuck out. We don't do that. No. So he goes in and she takes the bait. Like she took that manipulation and she was like, well, I don't want to be an enemy, so I'm going to do it. Girl, I just wanted you to do better. I just really wanted you to do better. They began to fool around in the lake. I'm just saying you can do better. It ain't even no Marvin's room situation, girl. You can just do better in general. Like, goddamn. Anyway, they begin to fool around in the lake. And just as Eddie and Karen are, or at least Eddie think they about to do something, Karen decides she ain't with it, which makes Eddie upset, who tries to, like, he really was trying to force her. I was like, dude, she's saying no. Like, did you not listen to our episode last week with Patrick and Cynthia? When she said no, what did he do? He said, oh, okay, I respect you, and left. Why y'all can't do that?
Because the producers.
I mean, yeah, I understand that, but yes. No. Anyway, Eddie gets mad. He makes her leave. Like, I'm just like, no. Like, see, that's why I told you. I told you not to do it. Like, and what you do, you did it. And you know what happens when you do stuff like that? Your clothes get strewn around the woods, and now you got to go naked holding your titties, finding them. And you know what happens when you do that? Cropsy just jumps out of nowhere and stabs you viciously in the throat with these garden shears that I have no idea where he got them from, because they're not the same ones from the beginning, because those clearly were not shears. Those were just scissors. But whatever, who cares? I didn't want Karen to die, sis. I really did want more for you, but you know what? Somebody had to go. The next morning, Michelle finds that Karen hasn't returned, and she and Todd go out to find Eddie. And when they do, they're like, okay, well, where's she at? We know that she was with you. So what's up? And of course, he tells Todd after, I might have gone too far. Nigga, you think, don't fucking lie. Don't lie. Like, obviously you didn't kill her, but just be real. Marnie, another camper, discovers that the canoes have been cut loose, and they floating around somewhere in this lake. So I guess they got to find them because they on this island. How else they gonna get the fuck off this island? But they like, okay, well, did Karen do it? Was she that mad? But why would she release all 5? Like, I mean, earlier they say something like one of the supervisors told her, like, if things got too heavy, she can come back home. Like, what the fuck? What type of camp is this?
That's why I didn't think that she was a camper. I thought she was a camp counselor.
Like, just what is going on?
Or like a sub camp counselor, because, yeah.
This is a lot. So anyway.
We're the real adults.
Listen, okay. That one, Jeff, that's absent. Literally, he comes in the beginning of the movie and then towards the end. And you probably didn't even know who I'm talking about when I say his name is Jeff. But I digress.
Oh, the one that was on the balcony?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right, exactly. So they come up with a solution. They end up building these rafts from scratch, which, wood and shit all over the wood. So they go finding it. Woodstock and Dave are funny as hell. When Fish is walking, he's like, what are we looking for? And they're both like, your mother. Which I heard that Dave, a lot of his lines were like him.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, I love when people do that. Don't like this, but I like when people do that. So Glazer goes off with Sally. And of course, as a lot of these other incel man in this movie. He's trying to get her to have sex with him, and she's just like pushing him off. He's pressing the issue, and she says, just wait until later. Da, 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 da. And he talking all this big shit. And you know what? I'm gonna get to you later because Alfred ass is still fucking creeping. Why are you still creeping, sir?
He ain't got nothing else better to do.
I don't care. Like, read a book. Read a book, motherfucker. Read a book. Something. I don't know. Meanwhile, back to my boys, Eddie, Fish, and Woodstock. They finish the raft, they board it, and along with 2 other female campers, they go off and they go finding the canoes. This group ends up spotting a canoe and they begin to paddle towards it, only to have Cropsy, who's been laying up inside the canoe this whole time, pop up from the inside with the shears, and we get the iconic raft scene. Now, what happens is Woodstock's fingers get snipped off. Then Cropsy swings them shears around, chopping one part of the board, which ends up hitting Fish through the chest. He did. Then one of the girls is stabbed I thought she was stabbed in the back, but I don't know. It happened so fast. She in the water. Eddie ends up falling back against the raft and he gets stabbed through the throat, even though we can clearly tell that his head was just sticking out the thing and they had a cast body. But you know what? It's fine. I'm going to let it rock. And then the shears end up slashing Woodstock through the throat and the face. God damn, it was a double. I don't know how they did that. But then the last female camper, she gets hit in the head and her skull just splits open. I'm like, these are some, either Cropsy strong as hell, or these shears is like something serious.
Yeah, that throat slice, not the throat slice, but the forehead slice was something else. I was like, damn.
I said, damn, right. Like, you know how hard you got to do to slice somebody's forehead for it to leak like that? Like,
now the throat stab was a little weird, but after watching them behind the scenes, I understand.
Right. So Michelle begins to worry when, I just sent all these kids on these rafts to get these canoes, and where they at? Like, where they at? But, after her and Todd do some flirting, it's an afterthought, which I'm like, you are a camp counselor. Kids, campers should be your first thought. You know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Nightfall comes and Glazer finally gets in Sally's pants. And I'm just like, oh, I don't need, I can't stand no mini man. I don't want no mini man. Because I knew your ass was going to do that. I knew. You was talking all of that shit. And I fucking knew.
At first, it sounded painful as hell to her. But then, as soon as it started, it ended.
Because.
And I would have called his ass out too.
First of all, you did all this. You talking all this shit. Let me see if you can walk, and you can't even walk. Look, little dick nigga shit. Hurry up. I gotta go. Like, and you should have left. Sally, you should have left. No, we can, maybe it'll come back later. No. Do better. So because she stupidly gave him another chance to make it up to her, he goes and gets, some matches so he can start a fire, all that, blah, blah, blah. And while he's gone, Cropsy comes along and, even though I got to give it to her because she tried to fight and she tried to, prolong it a little bit, but still she ends up getting the shears to the chest. And once Glazer gets back to the campsite, not Alfred, why are you not asleep? And if you're a light sleeper, that's cool. But no, nigga, you was not asleep because you was sitting there staring at Glazer, getting whatever the fuck he was getting to walk back. And then you're going to immediately get up and follow him? You weren't going to wait 2 minutes. You just immediately got up. And y'all in the woods, so I know it's leaves and sticks crunching and popping. You ain't here? No? Okay. Movie's got a movie? Okay, whatever.
Maybe he's a ninja.
But I guess something. Alfred ends up following Glazer back to where he and Sally were. And Glazer thinks that Sally is asleep. And when he pulls back the cover, first of all, how the fuck, if Cropsy was under the sleeping bag, how did you not notice that?
That's what I was trying to figure out too.
How sway? It don't matter. Glazer ends up getting the shears through the neck. And I really did like this effect. They really did that. And like I said, I'll link that documentary down below so y'all can see it for yourselves. But pinning him to the tree for like 2 hot seconds because he ends up falling down and just bleeding out. But I'm like, still, I just try to figure out how you ain't noticed that big ass man under that sleeping bag. How that work? Now, Alfred, remember, because I said homie was creeping per usual. He goes back and runs to tell Todd, and Todd, he all delirious and shit. Y'all know how that go. And Alfred stumbling over his words. He can't get him out. He's trying to tell him that some shit happened, but manages to get it out. And they go back to the site, and this is where Todd finds the dead bodies. Then he's attacked by Cropsy, who hits him in the face with the shears and begins to chase Alfred. And once Alfred dips out through them woods, that baby ain't fall not once. Okay,
he didn't, and he got the fuck. Okay.
Okay.
And I was just trying to figure out where the hell was he going, because he was just running and running and running. And I'm like, where's your destination?
Right, because apparently y'all on an island, so it's not too many places you can go. I don't know how big this island is, so I'm just like, okay. So at this point, everybody else is woken up and they're waiting for the raft to return. And, they see the raft, but, where everybody at? Like, nobody's moving. Like, they think it's a joke. They like, okay, they fucking with us. So Michelle ends up swimming towards it. And once she gets to the raft, she's blindsided. That shit is bloody. It's body parts everywhere. It's bodies in the, first of all, was the body just hanging with the raft? Even though that can happen. That does happen, because I do have a pool, and if we have an inner tube in the pool and like other things are around it, they do end up grouping together. But I'm just like, I just feel like, you know what, movie's got a movie. It does not even matter. Doesn't matter. One red crossfade later, Todd ends up regaining himself. He gotta dust himself off and try again. Actually, no, we will not be putting my good sis in this goddamn movie. No, not at all. Anyway, he goes back to Michelle and sends her with the remaining campers back for help. These poor kids got to motherfucking row this damn raft. The same raft at that.
And all their friends died of.
And Michelle just talking about, deep down, you can do it. Bitch, we upset.
And we scared we gonna die.
Right, y'all do. Oh, y'all need to get shut down right the fuck now. So they end up making it back on land. And this is where we meet Jeff for the second and final time. And they hop on the outboard after calling the police to come by helicopter to, save everybody that's remaining. Granted, they don't get killed. They don't, but whatever. Todd ends up chasing after Cropsy, finding an axe and following Alfred in Cropsy's footsteps. And speaking of Cropsy, he captured Alfred in this rocky maze that looked like something out of Temple Run, dragging him by the throat towards an abandoned mine shaft. Now, Todd follows nearby, hearing Alfred scream, and finally tracking them down to the mine shaft, where Alfred has been pinned by garden shears to the wall. Todd is then ambushed by Cropsy, who, pushes a cart, which knocks Todd into a room where Karen's body is, and it's just a goddamn freeze frame, and they show it twice.
They just want y'all to know that Karen did.
I was like, we knew. Like, y'all, did the actress leave? You couldn't just have her later? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. So Cropsy rounds the corner with the flamethrower, and I'm just like, where did you get this? I mean, I know revenge, but I'm just like, you would think you would want to stay away from fire, but I guess, all right, whatever.
I mean, he faced his fears that day. He's like, I'm already burnt the fuck up, so might as well take my enemy and use it to kill the person who did this to me.
Anyway, you know what? It's all right. So this gives us a flashback, letting us know, if you didn't already, that Todd was one of the boys involved in Cropsy's burning. And it was because, like, the first time when I was watching this, I was like, it was like midway through the movie. I can't remember. He said something. I think it was when he was talking to Alfred, talking about 5 years ago, I got kicked out of camp. I was like, so you was one of them boys that had something to do with it. Okay. So you the reason all these kids getting raped, because y'all know how y'all was talking about Bones being petty, coming after all of these kids. And I clearly explained to you why. Cropsy really has no reason to kill these kids. Nigga, kill Todd and leave. And you know what? I'm going to get on that later. Let me finish this because I'm going to get on that later. Cropsy, we end up seeing his little melty, bubblicious bubblegum face. Actually, I'm not gonna do that either because I say Freddy looks like that in later movies, and I will not be doing that. But Cropsy just look like I don't fucking know. Like, have you ever had the bubble tape and you tried to eat the whole entire thing and it just didn't go right?
No. Yes to having bubble tape. No to trying to eat the whole thing.
Well, for all my survivors that have done that before, that's what his face looked like. That's what it is. So it ends up happening.
Bazooka, zooka, bubblegum. Sorry.
Tried to make a light moment. I'm just like, not biting the bait today. So Alfred is able to take the shears from out of his arm and stab them into Cropsy's back, while Todd and Alfred are, they think it's over. They walking away. Cropsy pops back up and attacks them, resulting in a little squabble until Alfred ignites Cropsy's clothes. And then Todd hits him with an axe, which is really Savini swinging it, which Savini does this a lot in a lot of his movies. He's like, you know what? This is my effect. I know how I want it. So I'm just going to handle this myself. I bet, got it. So Cropsy is dead. He burning. And I'm just like, y'all know this mine shaft is about to burn down too. So now we need the fire department. You know that, right? Okay, it don't matter. So they make their way. Oh, shit. Yeah, you know what? It really don't matter because the movie is fucking over. We get another camp counselor telling the same story to a new group of people and don't move, you're dead. Boom, that's the end of the fucking movie. We're done. As you can tell, I did not like this. Like, I was really excited to see a new movie. This is supposed to be this iconic that scene. And that was it. Like, I remember I would actively avoid spoilers for this movie on the Watch Mojo countdowns and all of that. And then when I seen it, I was just like, I mean, that was literally it. That's the only thing. This in George Costanza, and that's not even his fucking name in this movie, but that's it. Like, what? Y'all really like this movie? And I don't even want to understand. Like, that's y'all do that. Like, what the? And then, like, it was written by all men, first of all. So y'all all disgusting. And it's like, y'all know me. I have a high tolerance for a lot of shit. But this, I feel like Tyra yelling at Tiffany right now. Like, I was rooting for you, movie. Like, I picked you as number one to kick off this fucking summer camp 80. I can't even fucking say the title right. Like, this is a disgrace. Like, my survivors, like, I'm so sorry. And to y'all that enjoy this movie, that is y'all. But no. You got thoughts on this? Because I'm done.
Okay. So here's my notes on how I felt after the movie. To me, it was a slow burn. So for me, the title was kind of a double entendre. How do you say double entendre?
Double entendre.
Yes, that. Because it was a slow burn. And the nigga was burned for real. But other than that, I was trying to figure out why he chose garden shears as his weapon of choice. If there's, a little bit more of a backstory to that, that would be nice. I like to know people's motivations for killing. It's fun. To me, the best person in this movie was Jason Alexander.
Right.
A fave. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, and then the campfire horror story telling, that actually reminds me of a major part of that show Killer Camp that I want you to watch. So that was nice for me. I was like, oh, this reminds me of Killer Camp.
And now I want to watch that instead of this. Because, like, I'm just like, I was excited. Like, y'all know I love me a good cover art. And the cover art for this movie, it looks so, well, okay, the original one is just him in the Invisible Man suit with the shit. And I know I would usually do this in the Souvenir Shop, but it might not be one today. But the rest of them, like the garden shares, I was ready. And I mean, yes, the kills are superb. I do like the kills, but I'm just
Yeah, I
like
like the
the
kills
rest
too.
of what this movie is wrapped up in. And this movie got the nerve to have a motherfucking 80 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb and a 4 out of 5 on Shudder. What the hell?
So the only kill that I didn't really like was Glazer's kill because that whole setup of it didn't make sense as far as where the fuck the dude was. But other than that, I liked all the other kills.
Yeah. I mean, I was just ready for him to die anyway. But I'm just like, I'm really trying to figure out, is it nostalgia that y'all looking at for this movie? Or what? Because what is it? I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. I'm really not.
I'm not seeing it either, but I was watching some reviews and a lot of people were saying that it's like okay, so I watched some reviews and I read some of your reviews, and compared to Friday the 13th, apparently it was done better.
Y'all a motherfucking lie. And it's like I can slightly see what you're saying, because I think this and 2 was made in tandem. And although now that I think about 2.
No. So I read the background for this. Apparently, this was created, like the script for this movie was written before Friday the 13th ever came about.
Well, I meant that, like, when this came out, it was in tandem with 2. See, I should have finished my point. So what I was saying was this was in tandem with 2. So at that point, we already done seen Friday the 13th. So no matter what you would have did when this movie came out, people were going to say this ain't nothing but a Friday the 13th. So yeah. I don't know if you've seen Friday. I don't know if you've seen the second installment, but there are so many similarities between this and the second one that I would not be surprised if there was somebody from the sets like, hey, you want to go have a coffee? What did you guys work on today? Oh, we did this and we did this. And then, let me take this back to this movie. Da, 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 da. So that's what I was getting at. No, I'm aware that this was long. I don't give a fuck that this was written before Friday the 13th, because fuck the bitch things. And yeah, I'm done with this. I'm done. What do you rate this?
I give it a 40.
You know what? I gave it a 40 too. Because I wanted to go, and it only gets that because Tom Savini and the kills. That's literally it. Because I wanted to go lower, but I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna be that mean. I am so sorry, y'all. Like Camp 180, we just gonna count this as a rain day? Because no, absolutely not. I guess we can go to the souvenir shop because it ain't nothing else to give. Ain't nothing else to be gave.
It seems you survived. Well, before you go, join us in the souvenir shop.
I'm sorry, this whole episode has been funny for me because normally the shoe's on the other foot. And granted, I hated this movie too, but hearing Ashley talk about how much she hates it is hilarious.
Y'all seen that meme? Little Scrappy, I am so sorry. Oh, her name is Erica Dixon. There we go. And she's like, I am disgusted. Like, that's how I feel.
So, wrapping up the souvenir shop, I don't have any souvenirs, but I do have a homework assignment for you. And the homework assignment is to watch Killer Camp.
Yeah, I can do that because, I mean, y'all see the poster art when I post it. No, I am very upset. Like, this poster art is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Like, it's the shears, which actually was not the actor holding the shears because he kept holding them the wrong way. And like I said, you want something done right, you got to do it your motherfucking self. Yep. So that was that. But you know what? You ready for me to run these park announcements?
Yes, please, because this was a doozy. It's okay. Everybody has those days.
You know what? A shout out to the Zillennials. All right, y'all. Once again, sorry for this rain day. Next week will be a lot better. You can go ahead and visit us on our IG, D180 Podcast. Look on that Park Themes highlight to see what the rest of the lineup is for the month. next week, I know we're going to be taking a nice little swim when we cover Piranha, the original one, guys. Don't go watching the 3D one. Don't go watching no, because you're going to be all types of lost, okay? Yeah, and you're going to be all kinds of lost. So anyway, if you have a theme in mind, or if you have a movie you like to see us cover, you can hit us up at destination180podcast@gmail.com. Just write survivor submission in the title and just tell us whatever you want to say. I mean, even if you want to give us feedback, you can do that there as well. Please make sure you leave us a review on wherever you listen to, whether that be Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever it is. We love reading your reviews. Y'all are so nice to us. Y'all so kind, especially y'all that talk to us on Instagram. We love y'all, of course. So that's pretty much it, y'all, for this episode. I know next week will probably be a lot better. Let's take this as a warm-up day. This is just like, you know how orientation be, it just be long, it be hot, sticky, you just be ready to get the fuck out. That was this. So, you know, it's all good.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. See y'all next week. I'm excited. You know, this actually kind of fit because the day they're recording it actually was a rainy afternoon, evening. You know, thunder was acting a little crazy outside, so it's fitting. You know, rainy day, rainy podcast.
It is. All right, y'all. We'll see you soon, survivors. I promise I love y'all. I promise I'll be better next week. Actually, you know what? I'm not blaming this on me. Blaming this on this fuck ass movie. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.